So, guys, I want to share something with you I don't know, it's very common or very funny. Normally, I come here and I just want to have a good time, just walk around, enjoy the nature, do the grounding and everything. And then you know what happens? As soon as I reach this place, that is exactly when the downloads start coming in. You know what I mean? I don't know, for some reason I come here and the download just pops in. But anyhow, it's not gonna be a very long video. I want to share something very important with you guys. So this will be the people who are dealing with dysfunctional family units. You know what I mean? So in those family units, they have the members who we already know. At this point in time, we already know the dynamics. So we know who is the narcissistic parent, who is at the top. Then we also know who is the enabling parent, and then we also know who is the golden child. We know who is the black sheep, the scapegoat. Then we know who is the lost child. I'm going to break down to you guys a particular individual of that family. They call them the paralyzed child. Now, in my opinion, these families are very heartbreaking. I think it's one of the biggest challenge we have to face. When you come to that awakening and you start to see what kind of family are you coming from, and you start to understand the people that actually were supposed to love you and the people that actually brought you up in the first place. That is when you're going to realize that the whole thing was messed up. So I came to learn about the black sheep. It was around 2 years ago. That time I awakened to the fact that I'd been the scapegoat as well. So I also learned about the black sheep. It was 2 years ago. So the black sheep, and then I learned about the paralyzed child specifically. This particular child of the family is the child. They will almost be a scapegoat. So they have actually one time at some point in their lives been scapegoated by their families, by their brothers, by sisters, by their parents as well. So the paralyzed child is the child who has initially at one point been a scapegoat in that family. So it could have been one of the person that they have used as a scapegoat in the family, and they were never able to recover. So they never recovered. I think I'm starting to believe and to come to that sense of awakening that I think the reason why they call them paralyzed child is because these individuals, they have been broken so hard to an extent that they can no longer function as normal human beings. And I'm not very sure if those individuals can ever recover. I'm not so sure about that. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, as we share this kind of videos, I want you guys to come out and give us your input. We want to put this information together so that we can know what exactly we're dealing with. We're helping a lot of people here. Personally, the family I'm coming from, there's a paralyzed child. There's one member is a paralyzed child. As I remember back in the days, I think it will be so many years ago when I was a kid. So this was the child who used to take the beatings. So this was a child in the family who used to take a lot of beatings. They were beaten down very bad, and their emotional capacity was also damaged at that same time. Now, in that time, for me, I thought that okay, sometimes when the narcissistic parent is doing these kind of things, they want always people to play along with them. You know what I mean? So they need supporters. So while they are beating down other people in the family, other members of the family, they also want people to support them and to cheer them as they're doing that. So in those days, for us being young, we used to cheer up these kind of things. We used to think that okay, it was the normal thing to do. They had done something wrong because the first thing what those people will do, they will make you believe that actually that child has done something wrong. Only for me to realize later on as I grow up that initially that child never had anything wrong. They had never done anything wrong. So these were simply children who were usually beaten down at a very young age. Either they were beaten down or they were blamed again. Could even be some things that they have actually done. But then you notice that actually this child, over the course of time, the child has continuously been beaten down and the child has continuously been emotionally incapacitated. Now, the more I got to understand this, is the more I learned that actually the paralyzed child, as they grow up, they have lost track of themselves so much that they can never be able to live a normal, meaningful life as adults. You know what I mean? So even sometimes they will struggle with relationships. Most of the times they are going to end up, because those individuals, due to the fact that they've been beaten up so much and so hard, they grow up as very strong codependents. Now you see the difference between the black sheep and the paralyzed child, the scapegoat and the paralyzed child, is that the scapegoat, they're the ones that got away. You know what I mean? So they figured this thing out and they got away from it. So they went very far away from it, and they extracted themselves out of those dysfunctional families. But the paralyzed child was never able to get away. So there are some members of the family we have to understand, and we have to pray for them. And we have got to understand that those individuals, sometimes they will never wake up. Some of them, they will never wake up, and even if they wake up, it is going to be very, very difficult for them. They are going to struggle to leave that family. You know, not everybody can do the move that the black sheep is able to do. You know what I mean? Because I've told you guys, the black sheep, they're the warriors. So the paralyzed child continues and carries on with their lives, struggling with relationships, with self-esteem. They have a lot of codependency issues. Most of the time, they are always relying on their family members for help. Brother, can you help me this? Sister, can you help me with that? So they have a lot of very, very strong codependency in the syndrome. They struggle with that, and I don't know if they actually ever heal from that. But even that, on top of that, the paralyzed child also continues to go ahead and marry or get married to difficult relationships, like difficult. They will meet usually toxic people. You know what I mean? Because they are very strongly codependent. The same thing with the black sheep. The paralyzed child will also carry on and go ahead to get married or marry toxic individuals. So they may end up with a narcissist most of the times. Like that particular individual I'm talking about in my family, they ended up usually with a narcissistic wife, and that dysfunction also continues eating up the whole family. So most of the times when we're talking about these things, people don't understand where we're coming from. You know what I mean? Sometimes your family members may think that you're out there disrupting the entire family system, or you're out there talking this or talking that, but they don't understand the mission that you're doing. They don't understand this wisdom that you're bringing into a lot of these family members, the wisdom that is going to help them move them to the next level. They don't understand where you're coming from. Now you see, at some point I'm going to make a video about the lost child as well. I could have done that many years ago, but we're going to do another video on that. The child that they call the lost child. But the paralyzed child, I want you to look very closely in your family, ladies and gentlemen. Look very closely within your family members. There's a child. That child can never break free from the family. That is the first thing. They are struggling with codependency issues. They are very strongly codependent. They are fully reliant on the parents for validation. Even as they grow as adults, you will see them sometimes they are 50 years, they are 60 years. They are continuously engaging with their family members. They want each and everything their mother to decide or their father to decide. So they are very strongly codependent with those narcissistic parents. And at the same time, them also with their own families, they are not doing well. So their families are struggling. They are with narcissists most of the time. They're with psychopaths. They are married to or sometimes in a relationship with a lot of these other toxic individuals along the lines. You know what I mean? So those children, they are calling them paralyzed because they will never be able to function on their own. They have been emotionally incapacitated over the years, abused physically and emotionally, and then this thing has broken them to that extent whereby they can never be able to function as fully grown adults, and they can never be able to make really nice and conscious decisions about their own life. So this thing incapacitates them as they grow and as they mature into adults, and it affects each and every area of their life. So whether it is jobs, most of the time they are going to struggle with work. Sometimes you are going to see them a lot of times they're having a lot of problems at work. They could be beaten at their jobs, or they could be sacked, or they could be fired, or the things like that. You know what I mean? But also in their relationships, they're also going to struggle with the relationships, and most of the times they're also going to deal with a lot of addictions. So along their journey, they're also going to struggle with drugs addictions. You know what I mean? They may get involved with drugs, or it could sometimes be alcoholism, or sometimes it could be sexual addictions, different types of addictions. But there's going to be one or two. So those individuals, they are incapacitated at some point. whereby they can no longer fully function by themselves and on their own. So they keep on struggling all throughout life, and they keep on having a lot of challenges. And most of the times, I do not know if it's the truth, but it's very likely that those individuals, until the last day of their lives, they are always continuously going to be attached to the narcissistic parent at the top. Because remember that this is a person, the parent who has actually strongly hooked them very far, very deep, hooked their fangs very deep into them, that they can never be able to function on their own. So they usually forever keep on relying on their narcissistic parents. Wherever you see them, the narcissistic parents, sometimes they will be coming around there and trying to seek validation from them. You know what I mean? So for the ones of us who see these things, the black sheep, who are the ones who see these things, I mean, at some point we also face one or two or three similar circumstances in those families, and we also have got our own challenges in those families, in those units. But then we're the ones that got away. So the black sheep or the scapegoat, they're the ones who awaken to this thing, and they're the ones who get away. You know what I mean? And they're the ones who have the courage and the capacity to call out this BS wherever they see it. You know what I mean? But none other than the black sheep in that family is able to speak out. The black sheep, they're the ones who have got the voice. So I've told you guys, you're the whistleblowers. They're the ones who, upon awakening, they're the ones who blow the trumpet, because they have seen this evil happening within the family. So they're able now to blow the trumpet, and they're able to warn all the other family members in that family that are struggling. So they're able to sometimes help a lot of people. So the black sheep in this case, they're the survivors. They're the winners and they're the thrivers. You know what I mean? But most of the times in those toxic family units, the reason as to why you see people saying that actually it is very difficult for a lot of these family members to heal. Me, I don't believe in that theory. You know what I mean? I believe that everybody can heal. Ladies and gentlemen, the only thing why healing is not happening most of the times on this universe is because this thing has already been programmed, or it has already been said so often enough that actually people are starting to believe it, that it's true. You know, sometimes you may hear people talking about the narcissist will not heal, they cannot recover, this. But this is just a projection, guys. This is just a conditioning. This is how people are conditioned to believe that healing is not possible. But me, in my own soul, I believe that anybody can heal. But healing has got to start from somewhere. You know what I mean? Personal healing has got to start with the truth, information coming out there, and bring it on the table and understanding it for what it is, acknowledging the truth for what it is. And that is when the person is able to take the next steps to their healing and recovery. I think and I believe strongly that healing is possible. You know what I mean? So I would like to know in the comment section below, guys, if you have got a member of your family who is the black sheep. I would like to hear about that. I'm very, very interested, because me personally, I've got a story of a paralyzed child in the family. You know what I mean? So in our next video, we are most likely going to talk about the lost child, or we may sometimes give a little bit of hints of the golden child. Let us know what you think about this video, guys, in the comment section below. You always know that I love and appreciate the support. Like I said, I was not intending to do a video today, but I just came out here with my phone and the download just came in. And normally what I do, I just take out the video and start recording, because that is the particular message for that particular time, because everything is happening in the now. So leave us a comment, ladies and gentlemen. Subscribe if you haven't already, and let us know your views in the comment section below. I'll get back to you guys in my next one. Much love and blessings. Desmo signing out. Catch you soon. Peace.